I've always been a unique person, you know what I mean? Sort of laid back in a way, but very adamant and very passionate about what I believe. I think a lot of times that sort of throws people off because they don't expect me to have the mindset or the process of thought that I do. And so when you come in to watch my channel, you may hear a myriad of thoughts and ideas that could be different from others. What I want you to do is just sit back, like, share, and subscribe. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah, yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Lockhart perspective.
Hello. Did I just cut that off real quick? I think that's what Ronnie Mann talks about. He's like, why do you just chop it off like that? Hey, everybody. It is Wednesday. How are you? How's your week been? Hello, Angela Reed. I just love your new thumbnail. I get to see your pretty face. It's so good to be here. We've put up a couple of videos this week, and I'm going to tell you guys that some of your comments have floored me. I'm sitting here cracking up laughing. Yeah. The first one I think is really worth talking about, obviously, is the mask. Gee whiz. What do you know? That is something else. Now, it was sent to me by one of our subscribers. And I had, of course, to vet it, dig it around and find it. And it's been out for quite a bit of time now. Here's the deal. They're supposed to start sending that mask out this coming March. Apparently, people pre-sold for it. I remember being back in the day with cosmetics. We used to use the pre-selling tool quite often. It was a really good way to ensure that we made our numbers on any given day. So we pre-sold a lot of stuff. Used to pre-sell gift. You used to have to hunt people down and ask them to please pre-sell. So they pre-sold. And it would appear that they have a lot of folks who are interested in it. Now, when you look at it, it just doesn't seem to be anything that that you would feel comfortable wearing. And I know for me, I know I wouldn't be comfortable wearing it, but you just have to give the information and let people make their own mind up, basically. That's pretty much what you got to do. Now, the company is formed by several different individuals. One of the things that I sort of liked about it was the fact that, they make sure that they've got every angle tapped. So they've cornered the market on every angle. They've got entrepreneurs, obviously, because you're going to need somebody with a visionary type of mindset. And they've also got people in there who work professionally with PPE, with creating the PPE and making sure that it's safe and all that good stuff. And they've also got a bunch of folks who market it. Well, they've had crowdsourcing, crowdfunding. And that's how they have gotten a lot of their money together. So let's take a glance at it. We're going to look together at it. This is just horrendous. Next will be a helmet and nose plugs. That's funny. Hey, Melinda Ann, how have you been? So good to see you. So let's just take a look at it and let's chat about it, right? We're going to take a look at it and we're going to chat about it. There it is. Look at that. That's amazing. It just looks like it reminds me of an egg, but it also looks like a stormtrooper. So it says the arrival of the new protection, next level or new level of protection. When you think about that, it's not really a bad thing. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. It looks a little like an egg shaped stormtrooper helmet, but it's actually one of the newest full face modular masks that was created by a group of PPE specialists, product designers, and entrepreneurs called Blank. Dubbed as a lifestyle accessory, digital hygiene unit, protective mask, as well as privacy keeper, Blank covers the user's eyes, face, and nose, as well as mouth. It comes equipped with an approved, FDA approved HIPAA filter that also protects the wearers from 99.97% of all of the contaminants that they may come in contact with on a daily basis, to include dust, mists, as well as aerosol. It comes equipped with a filter that allows the user to know when it's time to change it because it has a color coded mask sensor that lets you know it's time to toss it out. If you look for personalization, don't worry, because Blank features a changeable front panel that can be personalized with a variety of different designs, colors, and options. Co founder Felipe Rogro says, as for our mission, I love to think that it's to give people the opportunity to regain control over some of their personal data. It may seem like wearing the Blank mask, users lose their personality. But what really happens is Blank instead allows the wearer to decide which emotions to share, the moods to channel, and the vibes to transmit. It may seem counterintuitive, but it actually means more freedom and individuality, not less. Blank's modular structure, a frame that maximizes usable space and does away with unnecessary details, allows for the creation of an entirely new mass concept. Blank founders have invested approximately $500,000 of their own personal funds into the concept development, material testing, as well as evaluation and sourcing. For example, the passive UVC air cleansing module planned originally as the air filtration solution did not work. They tossed that out and exchanged it for the HIPAA charcoal filtering module. As it became clear, there was lack of evidence to support the use of UVC as effective and safe. The project is currently seeking funding on Kickstarter with over $200,000 already raised. My perspective is this: the masks won't be available for shipping until March of 2021. The cost is approximately 79 American dollars. I don't know what you think, but it appears that with everybody putting that much stock into this particular product, they plan on masks being around for quite some time. It could just be me, but I don't think so. Hmm. No way. No way. This is Felicia Lockhart, and this has been the Lockhart Perspective. Now, yeah, you're absolutely right. Somebody's going to make money from it. They're going to make a lot of money from that. Melinda Ann said, looks like somebody's going to make money from this insanity. I think we just need to get hazmat suits. Funny thing, Angela Reed, I was thinking about that earlier, and I was like, gee whiz, I wonder how much one of those costs, because it's like just beat them to the chase, right? Um, Listen, the way this deal is made, it has like a large wide band on the back. See, it reminded me of a motor scooter helmet, not motorcycle, motor scooter. It looked like a motor scooter helmet. And so when I first looked at it, I thought, does it go all the way around like that? But no, it's just the front and the eye area. Now they've cornered the market there too, because they've sort of thought about it and they were like, hey, well, you know what we need to do? Let's just make it where you can see through it. And some of the technology that they're looking at next, or some of the ideas that they're getting next, is to put it put your prescription in that visor. See, the visor portion you can see out of. And I thought that was amazing. Yeah. So let's see. Now they want children 2 and up wearing masks. Well, yeah, I This is a topic, and I was just listening to Monograph a few minutes ago, and it was so funny to me because he was making the comment, that other people can say stuff, but then you try to say something and you can't say it. But here's the deal: how stupid is that for people to even think that any of this is healthy? Now, let's give some credit where it's due. This company is making the mask, right? They made it. But one of the things that they did was they decided to put a HIPAA filter in it. And here's the deal. I can't blame anybody. Good evening, Leaf Desi. I can't blame nobody for trying to make some money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a true entrepreneur. Somebody who knows how to take the time frame that they're living in, create products and things that people will need. Now, their price point starts as low as $79. That's the last thing I saw. But then I was actually able to find that some of the prices have gone up depending upon the accessories or accoutrement that you want to put with it. And I'll have to, let's just say, from a financial standpoint, I think it's a smart deal. I think it's intelligent to go with the punches. But am I going to buy it? Probably not. I dislike them 110%. I loathe them entirely. I don't like them at all. I don't like them in the mall. I don't like them in the hall. I don't like them big, short, fat, or tall. I don't like them at all. I don't like them. And I think that it's pretty sad, the direction. However, here's the thing. Like I said at the end of that video, it looks like people are thinking that it's going to be here to stay. And that's where we need to put our brains. Is it here to stay? Well, I don't know. Looks like they've got some stuff going on here. Let's take some roll call here. We're going to say hey to Leaf Desi. Good evening, all. I've been so tired lately. Plumbing issues here in the South. LOL. I'm so sorry, honey bunch. I hope everything works out good for you. And I totally get it. I don't know if everybody's been feeling a bit lethargy lately, but it feels like the time is weird and your sleeping cycle is completely off. Well, mine has been. So I don't know if everybody has felt like that or not. Melinda Ann says, evening, everyone. Very good. We got a couple of statements here from Miss Angela Reed. I like the new photo. Been a rough week, but still hanging in there. Yes, they want us faceless. No talking. Mm-hmm. Somebody brought up a good point. It's like, hey, they could be introducing a couple of unknown entities into the piece. And so they want them to feel comfortable. Who knows? Who knows what's really going on? Who knows? Valiant one. Hello. There you go. Humpday. Mike. That's right. That's what it is. It's Humpday. That's what it is. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Well, hello, sir. How are you? You are never late. You are always on time. How are you, Mr. Steve Willis? Has it been a rough week for you, Angela Reed? Do tell. Why has it been a rough week? Tell us what's going on. Leaf Desi says, drained, but I'm still thankful. I know that's right. Hi, Steve. Salutations from Angela Reed. How has your week been, everybody? We see some of the folks here. I mean, hey, look, it's Wednesday. It is Hump Day. We've made it thus far. What does the weekend entail? Last week was amazing. We went through a lot of stuff last week. Collectively, we all did. But we made it through, right? So I don't know what's going on with you guys this weekend. I don't have anything great planned. But I do know that there's so much on the table out here right now. It's sort of a cornucopia. It's a smorgasbord. It's a cornucopia of confusion in some points. Lots of stuff. Lots of new stuff. Lots of stuff. What about that border? What about that border? What's going on with that? Oh, everybody. I may have to go soon, but I want to say much love to you, Felicia, and all of you kindred spirits. No, love in the mist. No, say it isn't so. Stay with us. Let's see. Steve says, we have snow up to an elephant's patootie. LOL. He said an elephant's ass. We've got snow up to an elephant's ass. Okay. Give a whole new meaning to an egghead, right? Didn't it though? I know. Wow. I don't know what to say or think. It's amazing to me. Um, but I was saying that I think it was smart of them to sort of circumvent everybody and everything. They're like, okay, you don't want to see us, then we're going to create an item that can be put on by a band, which is a wide band, on the just put it over the head, just like a regular old fashioned Halloween costume mask. So they took it a step further. They said, we're going to put a HIPAA filter in here because you're not supposed to be breathing in your own poison. We're going to put a HIPAA filter in here with a little sensor that lets you know it's time to change it when it's filled, when it's done all it can do. We're going to give you a band that you can just look right out of, and all you got to do is look and see. You can make as many faces behind this thing as you want to. You can roll your eyes if you want to. You can do anything you want to do. You can smirk at somebody. You can act like you don't hear somebody. You can do a lot of stuff in there. You can do a bunch of things. What else can you do in there, you guys? You can cough, obviously. You can do a lot of stuff in that thing. You can do a lot of stuff in that thing, but you can definitely not see anybody, and you can definitely not be seen. And that, my friends, is the rub. I know that in Alabama, as well as Georgia, especially Georgia, they have a law. Don't know what it looks like right now, but they have a law that basically says that if you go into any building, you cannot have your head covered, and you cannot wear a mask. There's laws in different states. You cannot wear masks. If you go into a shopping center, if you go into a store, you can't do it. But what's going on with the laws now in those particular cities? There are certain stores that say if you come in the store, you can't wear a mask. And that's based on their ordinance in that area. But you can't wear it. It's amazing. Love in the Mid says, Leaf Desi, may you get great sleep tonight. It's all so draining. Yes, it is. Yes. Yes. Melinda, hang in there. Love in the midst. Love and roses. Yes. You guys, it is. I mean, we do have to hang in there. We do. We really do. It's like when you can't do anything else, just keep standing. And it is amazing. It's like every single day there's something else new. I've just recently got to the point where even the morning news, I generally don't watch it. But for the past couple of days, I just wanted to peek in and see what the other side dealt with and how they were dealing with things. Amazing to me how every single point has something to do with this thing that's been going on all this past year. It's like they shove it. And it's causing everybody to be exhausted. To Leaf Desi's point, yes, everyone is exhausted. Yeah. So it's like you just got to unplug. You just got to take your time and literally unplug from some of that stuff. It's amazing. You can see how what a bit of propaganda it is, because it's almost like everybody is trying to make sure that it stays on the top of your mind so that they stay right there in your face. We're going to just stay in your face with this. So what does that do to you? It wears you down. It does. How do we turn it around? Get someplace and get your mind centered if you can. Because sometimes if everybody's in one spot, it's hard. So it's almost like you just got to go to the restroom, close both doors, stick some tissue paper in your ear, sit there on the side of the bathtub and just begin to pray. And if you can't pray, you got to do like Grandmama and them did. They used to moan. I don't know if y'all had any moaners in your family, but we had moaning women. And I tell you what, you didn't understand what they were saying, but you knew they was talking to the Father. Sometimes you just got to get at a place where you can just say, Father, just take the wheel. Do it yourself, Father. I can't do it anymore, because it can get that frustrating. You got bills coming. You got the husband wanting X, Y, and Z. You got the wife wanting X, Y, and Z. You got the grandkids. You got the kids wanting X, Y, and Z. Everybody's pulling on you. Seems like nobody has any wherewithal to pull themselves up sometimes. That's how it looks to us, right? When we're the ones constantly giving. Yeah, it does. But that's when you got to separate yourself and put your mind in a place that knows that, hey, this is going to pass. Tomorrow, this may or may not be here, but I'm not going to be handling this then the way that I'm handling it now. Next year, this may not be here. I know a lot of us thought last year, boy, I can't wait till next year when this is over. Yikes. Right? Yikes. because look where we are now dealing with this garbage. But God. Who has something good to say? Has anybody had a good week thus far? I know there's got to be some praise reports out there because I know our Father is still in the blessing business. That's right. The cornucopia of confusion. The COC. It's the COC. A cornucopia of confusion. Yes, ma'am. Anything good? Anything good? Sing. I've been singing impromptu, begging for direction. Does anybody want to just come in and say how they're doing? You don't have to stay on here long. I know how you feel. But if you want to just say hello, would you like to do that? Because I would love for you to do that. Anybody? 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 Well, I would love to hear your voice because you know what happens when we all get together? We can pray for one another, especially when we're able to. And, we're going to pray for you anyway if you come up and you say something's going on here. But it would just be good to hear everybody's voice. How about I just pull a name out of the hat? Love in the Midst. How about you? Would you like to come? I know you got to go. Love in the Midst say, I'm trying to stay visiting my godchildren, 2 boys, 5 and almost 3 angels of the earth. How sweet is that? That is so beautiful. Electricity and internet is on. Hallelujah. Yay. Praise report. Somebody got to run down the aisle. Hallelujah. That's right. Excellent. Steve Willis says, I got a huge hug from my 33-year-old son tonight. I would say hi. Aw, that is so beautiful. Isn't that awesome? A huge hug, not just a small hug, a huge hug. That means Daddy Willis is a good father. He got a big hug. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, it is. That is so sweet. Diane says, we love you. Love in the midst. Yes, we do. Honey bunch. You sweet honey. But did you guys see that? How sweet that was of his son to just give him a big hug. That speaks volumes about the kind of dad he is. It really does. Leaf Desi, will you replicate that for me if you don't mind? But that's to get here tonight. If you don't mind, we're gonna erase that in a few minutes. If people aren't picking it up, I'll just take it out so I don't forget, and then it goes over into the chat later when we put it up. Then it'll still be stuck in there. Let's see what we got going. Diane Brown says, that's wonderful, Steve. Thumbs up, Leaf Desi says. There's the link. Lots of hugs going around here too. And I would say hi to everyone. Short. Well, come on, grab the link. All you got to do is grab the link. And you don't even have to put anything up there. If you want to show your face, you can. If you don't, you don't. And it'll give you the option. You just click the button that says to, block out, or it'll say something like, don't show the screen or the camera. You can just block it and mute it, and it'll just stick your face up there. But come on in, grab the link. And as soon as you do that, when you're done, if nobody else wants to pick it up, then I will go on ahead and I will remove it. But I'm glad you guys are doing good. Let's all continue to think about some good things. Let me start. I got to spend some good time with my little grandson today, the 3-year-old, and that was a blessing because he's a hoot. He doesn't, what I love about young babies, young little children like that is they don't have a care in the world. They don't have a worry at all. All they know is things are fine. This is what's going on, and I'm good. And I think that's why the Father tells us to, put ourselves in the mind of a young child. You see what I'm saying? So it's really, really a sweet thing when you see how sweet they are. They're just funny. He's hilarious. He took a pillow. And I was like, what is he doing with that pillow? He takes a pillow and he goes and gets a throw cover. And then he says, okay, good night, Grams. And he lays down and makes himself a little pallet. When his mama said it was time to go, he said, hold on. He goes, he gets the cover, he gets the pillow, he throws it down, he takes the throw cover, lays on the floor, and he goes, good night, Gram. Bye, mama. They are so sweet and so innocent. Steve Willis says, I don't know how. I'm really dumb about these things. Hee hee. You're not dumb about anything. All you do is click the link literally on whatever device you're on. It'll take you right to me. No matter where you are, no matter what you're on, if you click it, it's going to bring you right in here. It's going to bring you right on in. Yes, I'm learning to surrender, Love in the Midst says. Love in the Midst, me too, says Angela Reed. That's right. That's what we have to do. We don't have much of a choice. When we surrender to him, right? When we start surrendering to the Father, then we already know it's going to be okay. It's good. We're good. We're totally okay because we know it's not in our control. And I think that's the hard part is giving up that control piece because we just like stuff to be a certain way. And as much as we love the Father, I think the truth about humans is that sometimes we think, well, no, I got it. Let me do it. I can fix it. Therein lies the problem because we can't fix it. But you know what's so cool about the Father is that he will actually allow us to do it until we, like a child, go right back to him and we give it to him and we say, I can't fix this. Can you take it? And he says, sure. And just like our natural fathers, he gets to fiddle faddling with it and turns once, turns to the left, pulls it out. And there it is. It's fixed. That's how it is. That's exactly how it is. Love in the Midst says, Angela, it's hard, but when I do surrender, the Father always shows me the way. Amen. That's a good point. That is a good point. He will always show you the way as soon as you give it to him. As soon as we give it to him, he's like, okay, here you go. Follow me. Watch this. And then when you get to the end of it, you're like, gee, it was that simple. That's all I had to do. You realize that it was that easy and that's all you had to do. And you're like, man, I should have done it this way all along. I didn't know it was that simple, but it is. It is. So we've got a couple more days left in the week. I hope that it all ends up beautiful. I'm trusting that it will. I'm believing that it will. We got a couple of little things that we could do this weekend if it's got beautiful weather. I'd like to go out by the lake somewhere and just sit and just chill. You know, put the line out there and catch some deliciousness, some wonderful fish. I don't know if I'd eat it or not right now. I don't know if I would eat that fish right now. I don't know what's out there, but it is relaxing to just fish. It is very relaxing. So I don't know. What do you guys have planned for this weekend? Does anybody doing anything? Do you have any plans? Did you have audacity enough to make a plan? You all have no idea how much that means to me. You are a sweetie pie. You are a sweetie pie, Love in the Midst, and you all have the best sense of humor. You know, I love reading your comments. Let's try that right now. That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to read you all's comments because when I tell you, you guys are a hoot, you are a hoot. A hoot, I say. I think the one video that you guys were really funny on. Let's see here. I want to try to see if there's anybody here in the room that had anything to say. I think that I don't know. Did I delete that guy's comment? I hope I didn't because he was funny. Maybe he came back and got rid of it. But you guys were having a really good time with him. I'm looking here. Let me see if we got it. Oh, he's gone. Aw, his name was White Lives Matter for President. And when I tell you, Sandy ran him for filth. Rachel Van Ziel ran him for filth. You guys was letting him have it, but that was funny. So let me see if I can find anything else where we can just go over some of you all's comments. Because you guys are really a hoot. I don't know whether you all know it, but you guys show your best work under these types of circumstances. You really do. And yeah. So let's see. For the watch party, let's see if we had any on there. Because you guys again were just cracking me up. Nah. I think I'm gonna have to wait and collect some of your funniest statements that you guys have ever made. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to create a spreadsheet. The funniest, zaniest statements, if I could ever do it. Is that how can you say that? Funniest, zaniest? Can you do that? Angela Reed said, amen. Love in the Midst. Angela. Amen, Angela. Valiant One says, In Ireland, 5-kilometer radius movement restriction since a few months now. Random video about the subject of the 5-kilometer restriction from the Irish child. And you've put the link here. Thank you so much for that link. Can I click it though from my side? It doesn't look as if it's clickable here. Huh. I wish that I could, because that sounds well, but then again, we can't watch. You know, people get so funny these days. It gets so funny. Angela Reed says, I love fishing, but putting the worms on it grosses you out. Really? I can't do it. Gives me the heebie-jeebies. I like it. I love you all. I have to go. I don't want to. It's okay, Princess. We love you too. You have a good night and you be safe. Enjoy those grandbabies. And come back if you want to, because you know we'll be here for a few more minutes. We got about maybe 29 more minutes before we head out. But it's good to have seen you tonight, Dollface. So good to see you. Try to get back in here if I can. Everybody have a blessed night and sweet dreams. You as well, Princess. Hey, lady, how are you? How are you doing there, Black Spring with Autumn? How is it going, sister? Please hit the like button for AI. She comes in working all the time. She's so sweet, so awesome. It's good to see you. So, you know, I just want to know, Black Spring, how's your week been so far? Have you had any good thing, any great things to talk about? Anything you want to go about? We're just, just doing a hump day spot check. Basically, we're just doing, the hump day spot check, just checking it out. That's all we're doing. Just checking it out and seeing what's happening. But yeah, so it's nothing. We're not really even hanging out long. We may even end here in a few minutes, you guys, because it was really just to see how everything was going. We already looked at the video where we were talking about the egg-shaped stormtrooper helmet. We watched that and found that to be a little stimulating because it did spark a big conversation there, Black Spring with Autumn. I know that you made a comment about it online, and there were a lot of comments about it. And if anything, maybe we can glance at some of those, some of those comments, because there were a lot of comments specifically dealing with the mask, because a lot of people just want to know why, where did it come from? So we can do that. Let's take a look. As I said, I think you guys have some of the best comments. And so we've got at least 47 comments here, but I want to read those of the folks that are here right now, if we can, so we can see. But you guys are hilarious. All right, let's go. Yeah, that was funny, right? Okay. Share the audio, and here we go. Wonder why it's acting funny. It's acting weird. Not responding. Why is it not responding? Are you guys still here? Wow. It doesn't look like you guys are still here. Don't understand it. Yeah, well, looks like you're here, but it doesn't look like it's letting me do anything. So we're going to just go on ahead and close that out. It's making me close everything out, but I think you guys can hear me, so I don't know why it's making me close everything out. Wow, that's not nice. That's not nice at all. Let's see what we can come up with. Nope. Yeah, I've got to close everything. Isn't that amazing? Minimize this. Nope. Well, it looks like we're having a bit of a difficulty. And let me turn the cell phone on to see if you guys can still hear me, because I don't have any control to my board now. None. You guys can hear me. All right, so let's just get on down with some of the stuff. I'm going to go on ahead and read some of the comments and let you guys, wouldn't that be funny to try to let you guys figure out who said it, which wouldn't work because, I don't know. All right, here we go. Here go a couple of the kooky, zany comments. Steve Willis says, oh, but wait, there's more. LOL. You deserve one. Get yours today while supplies last. Be a villain or a hero. Thanks, Miss Lockhart. That was funny. That was from Steve Willis. Love in the Midst gave that a good chuckle too. So yeah, that was a good one. I like that one. Furious TV said they are turning this planet into Mars little by little. Yeah, they're turning this planet into Mars little by little. And One Peaches 41 says that this reminds me of several sci-fi movies I've watched over the years. I wonder if this could be a way for other entities to stay hidden as they interact more in this world. Maybe it's just another way to take away our individual identity. Interesting. Thanks. Yeah, that was a good point. That was a very good point. Black Spring with Autumn says conceptually, this less human. This, I guess, this is less than less. No, the less human, the better is what you said. Someone once said they would challenge what it means to be human. Wow, that's a good one. Thank you. Yeah, I have to agree. I have to agree. It's not good. And Leaf Desi says, I woke up thinking of the death of the Death Star. Hadn't seen this video yet. Vincent Rhodes says, now I know stormtroopers and Darth Vader. Now I know where they get their start from. Okay. Where is R. Jones? She's not in here tonight. But you know what? Let me take a pause for a second because you guys have all been sending in some really good information. And a lot of the stuff that you guys have sent recently, I am turning them into stories as soon as I pull all the information as well as do the stuff that I'm doing. Also, this weekend, you guys look for some new posts over there in Patreon because there's going to be some new stuff over there. So just want to put that out there for you all so that you know exactly what we're doing on that side of the world. So yeah. Good night all. Oh, you're gone. Can you guys hear me? I hope so. Yeah, I think you guys can hear me. Good night to you, Mr. Steve. They struck when I mentioned the author's name. Oh, that's what that strike through was. I wonder why they did that. I couldn't understand why they did that. That didn't make much sense to me. That just doesn't. It's like, no, let us tell you what you can say. Let us just tell you what you can say. That's sad. But anyway, you guys, this is just a really quick time just coming in and say, hey, I'm going to get out of here because I don't know why the computer's just spinning. I know why. I probably did something and gave it too many commands with pushing the button. But to Steve Willis's point, he says, good night, all. Love to Sister Felicia. Love you as well, sir. Transhumanism is what Angela Reed says. Hey, you guys, we landed on Mars and we're trying. Hey, you guys, we landed on Mars and we're flying a helicopter there. LOL. He has the best sense of humor. Ronnie Man is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Ronnie, how are you? It's so good to see you. It really is. This is hilarious. So we have a lot of stuff that's going on that's just cracking me up right now. When I stop and just look at all the things that that people said about that mask, it really makes me think. But then it ought to make you say, let me go out here and get one of these just in case. Because like I said, if they do get to the point where, you know, they're going to make you wear this kind or that kind, if you got to have one, that looks like it may not be a bad one. I'll be very honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because, again, it does have that HIPAA filter in there and it has the charcoal exchange. HIPAA filter with the charcoal exchange. The charcoal's in there. So that's good, right, Ronnie? Isn't that good? To have the charcoal in there is supposed to be really good. So that's why I thought, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, thought that was pretty nice. I didn't think it was a problem. Not in the least. So you guys, hold on just a quick second. I'm going to switch something out. Just a quick moment here. A momentavo. Entered the broadcast studio, coming in from another side. So you guys are going to hear a little bit of feedback, or you're going to hear me in double, I guess. Enter. Oh, people don't know that movie. Okay. All right. There we go. You should see me in double. Because I gotta let this other one go. Because it's having a problem. It's not closing. We're gonna close it. All right. So You should just hear me now. But now I've got to get this one guest off, which is me. So we're going to try to figure out which one is me and which one isn't. That might be a bit of a problem. But I think that this is hilarious the way that this is messing up. Hey, DJ, how are you? The charcoal facial sold separately from the blank mask, you see. So that's where you add on to it. That's where you add on. You let the old you go and gave us the new you. Yes. Yes. It's the doppelganger of it all. That's because I did something while I was inside of the studio. And while inside the studio, I think I clicked the button too many times. Actually, I know I did. I know I clicked that button too many times. No doubt. I know I did it. It was me. I'm always jacking something up. And the funny thing is I'm always saying, well, I think that it's a malfunction. No, you the malfunction. Let me see if I can come back in. We're gonna try one more again. Hold on. Here we go, try it again. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Now, there. I'm back. Whew. That was a hot mess. The stuff that I do. Sometimes I feel like I'm Lucy. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. I do that all the time. I start jacking things up. I don't know how I do it, but I do it. I just don't know how I do it, but I do it. Is this me? Well,
on the heebie fisheezy am I doing? Huh. I don't understand. Something I got going on. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get off because I don't know what I've done, but I've done something. And yeah, looks like whatever I've done has jacked some stuff up for whatever I did. Oh, there I am. But I still have two of me, and that's not fun. It's not fun. It's not, it's this not, it's like double fun.
Mm, mm, mm. One of these, I'm sitting here just talking. That's creepy. That's really creepy. But the sad part is that it's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know which one is the right one. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is the right one. You are okay. This is so funny. I don't know, but you guys can hear me now because I can see the avatars bumping when I speak. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Oh, thank goodness I don't have but about 15 more minutes of this faux pas. So now you see how my week is going. Hey, R. Jones. But I'm glad I'm among family and friends because you guys can just sit over there. It's like I'm at one table making a mess at the lunch table. You guys are over there at the other table looking like, look at her. She just be jacking up stuff. Ronnie, man, go over there and snatch it. Get that from her before she messes something up. This is the real Lockhart because I be jacking stuff up all the time. And it's like, I know it's me, but I'm still, it's like that old person that loses something and they swear somebody stole it. I'm not like that. I'm not in denial no more. I know it's me. Lucy, you got some splaining to do. I know it's me. And I see the other me there. So it's like, yikes. Gee willikers. So you guys, I just wanted to check in on y'all, see how you were doing, check and make sure everybody was having a decent week, a good week. This weekend, we are going to have Saturday Night is Live, and I think it's going to be a good one. I really, really do. I think it's going to be a good one. I hope that you guys can invite somebody to come out because we're going to have some fun. Finally, you guys are going to see the giant robot video. You're going to be able to see it because it's finished. Now, I hope you guys remember Giant Robot. Oh, the link. You want the link? Yes, sir. Hold on just a second. Yeah, I hope that you guys remember Giant Robot. And for those of you who do not remember Giant Robot, I think you're going to really enjoy it. I think you're going to enjoy it. Now, it's not anything big. It's not anything like, major, long video or whatever. But it is a good one. And I think you guys are going to like it. Now, some humans are calling me. And instead of people calling me, they need to just come on and get on the show. Here we are. I guess when my phone rang, it pulled up the volume. That's not nice. All right. So there you go, Ronnie, man. I just sent it to you. Hopefully you'll get it in time to come on down. But yeah, so you guys are going to enjoy Saturday Night is Live this weekend. Let's see. That did sound cool. I'm no different. It was cool. It was fun. I mean, it just, I don't know what I did and how I ended up now having two. Well, yes, I do. I do know how I ended up having two because one of them are connected to my cell phone. Because what I did is when I could not get in, I then went to the cell phone and went there and leaned on that so that I could keep in contact with everybody. So that's how we ended up there. That's how we ended up into the abyss. And now I just closed out that tab in the cell phone. So I am here with you live and in person. And it's really me. And I don't have to worry about which one I was and who I am and who I'm not. I ain't got to try to find myself no more because now I'm here. I'm here, baby. Yes, I just ended it. It was two of me right down here in the bottom. So I went ahead, Ronnie Man, and I sent it to you. And you should have it as well. But only send yourself, no doppelgangers allowed because, well, they cause a lot of confusion and a little bit of ruckus, and we don't want that. Let's do something fun. Somebody throw something out of the hat. Somebody say something for the next maybe 15 minutes. We should do something. Maybe we should figure something out or name a game or something fun that we can do. I don't know. There is Ronnie Man. Oh, I like the aura. Oh, it's the aura. What's going on with the aura?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Greetings. Yeah, that was the doppelganger. That was clearly the doppelganger.
Clearly.
You don't want the imposter. We want the real deal.
Well, I'm here now. I wasn't there a second ago, but I'm here now, so that's a good thing. So what's been going on? How has your week been, kind sir?
It's been going. It has been going. I'm having some audio issues. I'm hearing about 4 of you. I don't think it's happening on the live though, but it's definitely happening on my end. So I need to disconnect from something.
Well, what I'm going to do is just turn my phone off because it may be my phone picking up a lot of stuff because it was a hot mess. Yes. Now that sounds like a bag of chips.
Did you hear
R. Jones? R. Jones said he can't have my aura. Hey, there he is. What's going on?
I'm at work right now. I'm on a lunch break, and I saw you live. I said, man, let me get up here and say hi to everybody. Hello,
Hello. Y'all, look at our brother. He's out there doing his thing. Working. That's good. It's good to see you. So your week has been okay. How's the weather been there?
You know what? It's been very interesting here. It was cold, and then the past 2 days been like 70 degrees. 70
Isn't that
degrees.
crazy? That's schizophrenic.
Yeah. So tomorrow, it'll probably be 25 again. Something like that.
Wow. Yeah, it's been sort of kooky out here too. I mean, we had obviously the cold, and then it got to the warm, and it's like, okay, now it's sort of chilly in the evening, but then tomorrow it'll be sort of nice, I guess. I don't know. It's sort of, you got to keep here's what you got to keep. You got to keep a snow shovel, a raincoat, an umbrella, and a sweater in the trunk at all times. You got to keep all of those. Can put that on your list, everybody. You need a snow shovel. You're going to need a rain umbrella, a raincoat. You're going to need an overcoat. You're going to need a whole lot of stuff. Keep you some water. Keep you some type of protein. Beef jerky. Down in Bunda. You're going to need something. Nobody knows the movies that I be quoting.
You know what's crazy? Everything that you just said, I have in my backseat right now.
Wow. Wow. And I just have it because my car is junky.
Well,
I know yours
you
is neat and organized.
Yeah, mine is all my work gear.
Okay.
But I have to survive the elements out here.
Yes,
But
you
it's,
must brave the cold weather. You must
But
brave it.
I feel like I haven't interacted with everybody for such a long time. I was like, man, I'm on a lunch break. I'm gonna go ahead and say hi to everybody. So, hello, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Man.
Live from Workville.
Hi, Mr. Man from Workville.
So when I came on, when I noticed that you were live, and I eavesdropped and peeked in real quick. I saw that y'all were. I don't know if you were passing by in conversation, but you were talking about maybe transhumanism or something to that degree.
Yeah, because we were talking about the helmet that they just created a few months ago, about a year ago. They created, and they were taking orders for it, but the orders won't be satisfied until this March. So yeah, that's what we were talking about. Somebody mentioned transhumanism with regards to that with that blank thing, the blank helmet.
Yes. Yeah, that is interesting. It is interesting. It looked like they took something from out of Star Wars. They took it straight out of Star Wars.
Yes, that's why I said it looks a little bit like a stormtrooper, an egghead stormtrooper. It's like a reject. Like this one came out round. This one came out oval.
A cartoon version of a stormtrooper.
Yes, and this one is a little bit broken. He came out like an egg. He came out like an egghead. Came an egghead stormtrooper. That's exactly what that was. So, do you have anything special for this weekend? We all were, talking about just like we said, this is really like a nothing burger type of chat. We're just here. We're just talking, nothing major. But we did ask, does anybody have anything planned? So what say you, Mr. Man? You got anything going on this weekend special?
I would like to do Sunday dinner actually, but I don't even know what my schedule is going to be like as far as work wise. So what I ultimately initially always have planned is to make sure that I have enough money to pay the bill people when it comes collecting. So that's my main objective. And then if I can finagle the time, then of course I want to come on and say hi to the good peoples on your live streams.
Yes, well, we definitely want to hear more of our Sunday dinner. The last couple have been amazing. I mean, really amazing, really well researched. You open a lot of things for us to think about. You answer a lot of questions that probably a lot of people have been thinking but just didn't know how to ask them. So it's amazing. It was just everything you need to know that you never knew.
Never knew that you need to know.
That you need to know.
Yes.
That was a hotline. Man, that was a hotline. You wrote that.
But that rings true with the
the themes and the topics that you do bring to the table, or that you try to bring to the table, each week or each live stream.
Mhm.
But I will say this though, I was just having a conversation with a coworker / friend / brother of mine, and we were discussing the Georgia Guidestones.
Ah.
And so when I peeked in on the live stream, I'm seeing little buzzwords, and one of them was transhumanism. And lo and behold, when we were discussing the Georgia Guidestones, there's 10 rules or whatever. And if you really look at them, they're 10 commandments. They're the 10 commandments of the New World Order. And one of them really, really, really honestly hints to a transhumanism-esque worldview, or something to that degree. And I was wondering if you can type in and actually pull up the Georgia Guidestone. I don't know how much time you have left, but that's just good. You asked me what I had going on my mind, and since I'm here, we'll talk about it just briefly.
Let's go ahead on and talk about it.
But if you can pull up the actual 10 commandments, do we even know what the Georgia Guidestones are? Are they relevant?
yeah.
Do they even
I think
matter?
most of us know, but you can, for those who don't, who may be looking at it, you can. This one here says Georgia Guidestones, Lucifer's 10 Commandments.
Well, I mean, it's the New World Order. It's the 10 Commandments of the World Order that they're trying to usher in and trying to implement. And if you think about it, that's the other team. It's not the team that we profess to try to cling to. It's the other team. So if you do the research and you dive in, you find out that the other team is Baal. Collectively, the other team is Baal. So they're ushering in the kingdom, and they're actually ushering in the king. If you look at the 10 Commandments of the Georgia Guidestones, in and of themselves, each individually, they're not like this nefarious evil thing. They're actually biblical principles,
but
in a sense.
Flipped.
Yes. They're doing it for the other team. So so in retrospect, or in looking at it forwardly, what we're viewing is the implementing of the New World Order, the 10 Commandments of the New World Order, but it's the kingdom, but it's the kingdom, it's the worldly kingdom that they're trying to usher in. Same concept, same precepts as the biblical, and the reason I'm saying that, if you look at it, it's because the biblical aspect versus the worldly aspect, they have to mesh. They have to look the same almost, because otherwise, how can even the very elect be
if it were possible, how could they be possibly fooled?
Exactly.
So the first one does say maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely.
Yes, so I don't even want to go there yet.
Okay. I'm backing up.
I just want to let's just brief over the first one, and then let's hone in on that second one. But the first one, it seems like they're implementing that. They're starting to implement that now. Because we know with these candy bars and things like that, that it's actually killing off folk. You know what I mean? It's doing the opposite of what it professes to accomplish. But in actuality, the implementation is accomplishing what it was implemented for. In which case, the first commandment, I'm reading real small letters, maintain humanity under 500 million people in perpetual balance with nature. So this is the whole Gaia thing. We're doing this for Mother Nature ultimately, and we're we're 7 billion strong, so that is a massive genocide on an insurmountable. We've never seen anything like this on this scale that they're trying to bring to fruition. 500 million people, and we're like 7 billion and some change. That's a lot of people that's going to be wiped out. But so yeah, does that bring any thoughts to mind in the chat for you?
For
Lacey?
me, I mean, I know Gaia, that was something that Black Spring had been talking about the other week. She brought up Gaia. I know that for sure. But for me, when it talks about that, there's a way that they have to get to that. And that's the thing that I think people need to realize. If that's their goal, there are ways that they're going to get there. So everything you think you can trust, you may not be able to trust it.
Exactly. And one of the things that one of those ways that they will implement all of these things is through these things. By implementing and abiding by these commandments, they're going to live by these rules and regulations. So look at verse 2. Like is
but you're right, because to them, there are verses for them. So number 2 says, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Wow.
So check it. Is that not mRNA? Like, is that not what they're doing?
Yes. Hey, Teresa. Hey, old head. That's exactly what they're doing.
Number 2 is what they're doing right now with the via candy bar and other things, that they're implementing. But look, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. If you could please, I know I'm now having you do, work or what have you, but could you pull up the definition of eugenics?
You know what? When you said that, I'm going to tell you something. I'm working on a huge appendix talking about that right now. Huge appendix. I'm working on a big. I wish I could pull my notes up here for you, but then that will blow the whole video out and everybody will be angry.
So let's just glaze over it, just gloss over it, and just look at just the definition, and then of course you'll go into depth with what you've been uncovering.
Oh yes. Yep.
And if we looked at the midnight oil the other night, or if you looked at the replay of the midnight oil with the Lockhart perspective, we definitely broke down superficially, just round and about-ish, but we still broke it down nonetheless to a certain degree, what the whole candy bar thing is doing internally inside of you. And it's basically creating genetically modified organisms. And we are those genetically modified organisms. And if you aren't familiar with the rhetoric that we're speaking, that what we're talking about right here, right now, definitely look at that midnight oil video. It was pretty cool. Nonetheless, I can't read that.
I got you.
Okay,
I got you.
Look, I'm all looking into this. So small.
It's okay. I'm gonna make it bigger. Okay, can you see that any better?
No, I'm in my car on my phone.
Okay, I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
The definition of eugenics: the practice or advocacy of controlled selective breeding of human populations. In the quotes, it says, as by sterilization. I'm gonna read that again. The practice or advocacy of controlled selective breeding of human populations as by sterilization to improve the population's genetic composition. In 1883, Francis Galton in England coined the term eugenics to encompass the idea of modification of natural selection through selective breeding for improvement of mankind. And I'll stop there.
Selective breeding. Now go back and read commandment number 2 of the Georgia Guidestones.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
With what you just said in mind.
Okay. All right. Number 2 is guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. The fitness and diversity part, those two words mean a whole lot. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying this is exactly what you just read as the definition of eugenics. Guide reproduction wisely. Just read that. So guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. So I don't know if you want to, go back and forth and then read the definition again. But well, it's you're.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it right
okay.
now.
Okay.
So
guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity.
Yeah, but
now
I have a cat on the screen now. I don't know where this fat cat came from. There's a fat cat. It's a fat cat. Oh, because they want me to subscribe. So maybe later. All right. So the practice of advocacy of controlled selective breeding of
controlled selective breeding. Number 2 is guide reproduction wisely.
Okay.
It's the same verbiage. It's
exactly the same.
It's the same verbiage. So they're telling you that they are that they intend to obey the 10 commandments of whatever you want to call it, Mother Nature worship or whatever, ultimately Baal worship, the 10 commandments of the New World Order. And we see commandment number 2 being implemented right here, right now with the candy bar. We are actually in the rollout phase of them ushering in, like, it's not talk anymore. They're actually rolling it out.
Did you see what Teresa said? She said more people have went down below from the candy bar than they have from the cause, the alleged cause.
Isn't that silly and totally backwards?
Silly and backwards.
It's totally counterproductive to what they tell you that it is, or that it's supposed to be utilized for.
This is a trip. So, this is amazing. Go, Ronnie, go.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to expound. Well, not even expound, but I wanted to highlight the fact that we are in implementation mode with the phasing, with the rolling out of these things. And I mean, you can go on, verse 3, because it's their Bible, but chapter 3, commandment 3, rule number 3, however you want to look at it. These things in of themselves, they sound cute, they sound innocent, they sound actually, logical, things of that nature, but they twist it and use it on a perverted level that is going to bring about genocide, man. And we're seeing it right now. And we're seeing it right now.
Yeah, we are. Bad.
But look, number 3. So number 3, they implement number 3, and then 4 through 10 is incumbent on implementation of number 3.
Number 3, that's a trip. So they straight up trying to get back to Babel. They're trying to get to the Tower of Babel all over again.
They want one language that they can manipulate and make it mean whatever. It's a living language. That means it morphs. That means it's ambiguous. It's vague language. Legalese is very specific, but it's only specific to the people in the know. It sounds like gibberish to the basic common ear or what have you. It just sounds like a whole bunch of just talk. Like, what are you actually saying? You're using English words, but legalese uses English words, but it just it doesn't make sense.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna say this. There were a lot of people for a long time that always said, "Oh, that praying in tongues ain't this, and that praying in tongues ain't that." And I remember as a little girl, Dr. Price had taught a series, and of course, I was little, and I was sitting in the adult church, but he had done a series speaking specifically about the prayer language, and some people will argue, well, that's not for everybody, or you shouldn't do that here and there. You should. Okay, fine. If you just did it in your house while talking to the Father by yourself, then okay. That dispels everything everybody said about you shouldn't be doing it in public. So just don't do it in public. But here's what I submit. I submit that sounds a whole lot more, makes a whole lot more sense now than anything. Because if you consider only the Father knows what you're saying, I don't know. Don't throw no rocks at me. But if only he knows what you're saying and they're trying to implement a one language type of deal, I don't know. Just throwing it out there in the bullpen.
No, because now you have eavesdropping ears that are listening in and spying on your petitions and your thoughts, directed to your Creator, and then now they know what your heart's desires are, and then they can come in and do battle accordingly. But you're right. If only the Father understands what's being said, then it's for his ears only. And you both of y'all, between you and your Father, only you two know the conversation, and nobody
Spirit knows. Only the Spirit knows. What he says.
Nobody can come in and try to throw salt in it.
I don't know. That's amazing. R. Jones says number 4 to her. Number 4 is especially disturbing. Rule, passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason.
Good point. And but in and of itself, when you think about it, that sounds logical. That's yes. Tempered reason, of course, everything needs to be panned out and hashed out through tempered reason.
Of course.
And you should rule with passion, because if you're ruling with passion, then it's something that you firmly believe in, that you're committed to, that you have convictions on, that are have legs to stand upon, things like that. But when you read in between the lines based on commandment number 3, this tempered reasoning that they bring to the table is going to be reasoned through this new language that they've implemented.
Wow.
So you know what I mean? So everything from here on out is based upon a new communication. Words meaning something that it didn't once mean. You know what I mean?
They're doing that now, though, right? They're really doing that now. They're really doing that now.
That's what I'm saying. So when you look at it, and I guess that's my main point that I'm trying to convey, is that all of these things, to some degree, are being implemented as we speak.
Most assuredly.
Look at number 7. Number 7 sounds wonderful.
Wow. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Hey, I can get with that. Yeah.
I love that. That's great. We need to do that right now.
Have as much weed as you want. Smoke as much. Yeah, go. Do whatever you want. Yeah.
Well, who is the authority that is telling us what is a petty law? Like, a petty law to me might not be a petty law to you, and a petty law to you might not be a petty law to me. But who is the authority that is in charge, that is telling us which ones are petty laws, and which officials are useless and which ones are not? You know what I mean? So it sounds good in theory, because we really do need to get rid of some of these useless officials. But it's arbitrary. It's too vague. It's open to too much interpretation.
They started with the police, didn't they?
Yeah.
They started with the police. Defund them. Defund the useless officials. Defund those who are, in leadership in this regard. Get rid of them. All the silly stuff. We don't need all those laws guarding the border. Are you kidding me? Let them all in. Let them all eat cake. Come on in. Tortillas for everybody. Come on. Have cake, have corn, have chicken, have fries, have everything. You come on in. Do it. What you got? Come on. Yeah. What you got?
So all of these sound good, standing alone all by themselves, the innocence of them or whatever. But look at number 8. It's so crafty.
Personal rights with social duties.
Right. You mean communism? Is that what you mean? Is that what you really mean?
Are y'all still with us?
But,
Is everybody still here?
I mean, it's a play on. They're so crafty with the wordage, with the verbiage, with the it's you know it sounds on a superficial level. Yes, we should do these things. This is our duty. This is a perfect utopia. But you're not gonna tell me that number 8. You could have just said one word. You could have just said communism, and you would have brought the same. Okay, let's do something else. Type in the definition, look up the definition for communism and see if it doesn't actually say this very same thing.
All right, let's do that. Let me look for you right now. Going back over here to Merriam-Webster, see what we come up with. Let's see what we come up with. Okay, Merriam-Webster. Wow. Here we go. Number 1A is a system in which goods are owned in common and are available to all as needed. That brings to mind 1976, where they can come in and take everybody's food, put it in a big pot, and then divide it out, even though you may have saved and your neighbor didn't. That reminds me of that. They made that a law. And then number B says a theory advocating elimination of private property. My God. And then 2, do you want me to go under 2, capitalize? Did you want me to go under that? Or just stick with those 2 under 1A and B?
Like I'm saying, read in between the lines. You know what I mean? Like look, balance personal rights with social duties. So, I have a personal right to have this $1 million, but that poor person over there doesn't have a penny. So maybe we should just disperse it all evenly, and nobody's rich and nobody's poor. Which is good in theory, because capitalism is capitalism, man. So to a degree, the concept sounds sound, but now I can't. My hard work and labor, I can't come up off of it. What's the thing that I've seen a lot of people in the chat say, own nothing and be happy, or something like that?
Yes. That's what they say. You will own nothing and you'll be happy about it. Yeah, you're not going to own. Huh?
That's number 8.
Yeah, that's number 8. You'll own nothing and be happy. Essentially, balance your personal rights. It is your right to own that house, but the social duties are, you see somebody's homeless outside, so they automatically get a room in your house. What happens if somebody says that? Ooh, it's on and popping. Let's say hello to M. Leslie. We're going to say hello to M. Leslie. We're saying hello to Jeff Payant. Hello, brother. How are you? Who else have we missed? I hope we haven't missed anybody else. I think that's about it right now. But hello. Yeah, I know that's your car. But we're going to make you sell it, and then we're going to make you divide it by everybody else so they can get bus tokens. I mean, it sounds stupid. We're laughing at it right now, but I mean, hey, you never know.
But these things, and this is what's really going on. This is what's really going on. Let me be finite. Let me be exact. These things will happen.
Because they in control of this camp.
It's going to have. They're implementing it right now as we speak. These things will happen. So my car that I'm sitting in right now will be converted into bus tokens for the masses, and we will be on a train. We'll be on a. It will be.
Oh wow! That kind of theory crushes incentive to work. Therein lies the problem. That came from Teresa. Teresa says that kind of theory crushes incentive to work. And that's the reason why they want to get rid of the middle person, because the middleman is usually the individual who has gone out and they're an entrepreneur. They're either an entrepreneur or they have a job and they are an entrepreneur. They have a side gig. And so they definitely want to make sure that if you have like the salons, has anybody noticed how hard the salons were hit? Salons and barbershops were really hit hard. Really. There's a lot of you got some people in this business that make a lot of money. So yeah. So go ahead on and your personal rights with social duties, and the way they're doing that is they're making sure that people see the need, and there shouldn't be that many millionaires. Say the millionaire. See, it's funny. Nobody ever calls them on the carpet. Well, wait a minute. Why don't we start with your billions? Yeah, you go ahead and liquidate everything. How about that?
Let's do that.
Show us. Yeah, put your money where your mouth is, player. Let us see you take your money, and then you take your money and divide it among all of us, and let us see how good that feels just for a moment. Okay. And when you do that, let us have access to all of your homes so we can just go in there and raid and get what we want. Number 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Wow.
Exactly. But in and of itself, that's a biblical approach. That is a biblical approach. If we mesh the terminology, if we conflate the terminology with the mindset of a biblical believer, the seeking harmony with the infinite, they're talking about quote unquote God. You know what I mean?
Dear God
should always be seeking harmony with the infinite in that in and of itself respect, you know what I mean, in that type of respect. But what they're actually saying is this this society, this communist society that they're implementing and ushering in is actually going to be a theocracy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a theocracy. So in and of itself, what if it's a theocracy, then they're ushering in the kingdom. It's just not the kingdom of the Most High. It's Antichrist beast system kingdom. It's the counterfeit kingdom.
So it's like a slap. It's trying to slap the face in the face where that one particular where the 10 Commandments says, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt. Basically, you should have no other gods before me. That scripture sort of reminds me of that number that we just read. It's like, to the infinite one. Yeah, me seeking harmony with the infinite. Just bringing everything back to the infinite. But these are some demonic cats, and if people don't understand that these people that are doing this believe this, this is their Bible, this is their scripture, this is what they go by, and they're on their crap, as you can see. Wow.
And I actually, this sounds crazy, but just allow me to say it and clean it up if I need to. But I actually commend them because they are on it. They are doing day and night. They are doing their job.
Well,
and they whatever they feel, whatever they deem is, I don't even know if they think it's right or if I don't know what their mindset is about it. But however their approach is, they are consistently on their job.
Well, I think we've said that. I think we've said that, that those who would serve that cat down there and Sheol, Tartarus, all that crap, that's the one thing that if we as believers would get on our job, and then we would understand. See, what they did is they made it very convenient to nullify the 10 Commandments. They made it so convenient. The way they made it convenient was to say, hey, you could never live up under any of that. You can't live under that. Oh, that's not for today. Listen, that was canceled out. That's old. You can't do all of that stuff. All you need to do is just just do this one thing. Just do that. Don't do it. And then what they do is when they tell you just follow love, they don't understand. Most believers don't understand that, yes, we are supposed to live in love. However, you're not going to shovel me a bowl of bull feces and tell me I put a little sugar on it and I'll take it. Now be nice. This is be nice. Show love. I'm offering you something now. Be nice. That's mental illness. That's crazy. But we take everything they tell us when they come and say, hey, do it like this and do it like that. They literally take the word of the Most High, twist it, tamper it, give it back to us and throw it in our face and say, well, you're not walking in love. You're not walking in love. Well, you should Own nothing and be happy. Well, don't you think everybody else should have stuff too? Well, that's not, you're not walking in love. And we go, yeah, that's true. Some of us, not us, those in the chat, but a lot of people do that. They want to go on ahead and follow this stuff. And they believe that that is part and parcel of following the laws of the land. That's what they'll give you. Well, that's what the laws of the land say. And God shit. But what about keeping his commandments? And we don't want to do that. We want to
But
nullify everything he says. Go ahead,
but
Ronnie.
no, but that's exactly what you just said. It's following and abiding by the laws of the land, which is number 10.
Number 10, not be a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. And then they repeat, leave room for nature.
Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. So this is the law of the land. What is it? It's Gaia worship. It's Mother Nature worship. It's the mother and not the father. It's the mother.
Mm.
Leave room for nature. And we've used the analogy before in the past where we're talking about how what's the movie? The Hunger Games movies is definitely this. They're leaving room for nature, and it's I'm sure this is a buzzword. I'm sorry. 2030. The what was
spell it or something, because I can't take no more hits on this channel.
yeah 2030. The thing that
Oh
they're
yes 2030. Yeah.
You know. You can't take, half of them hits are my fault. I'm sure. I apologize.
No, actually, they're not. It's just, and so it's so funny because my channel, it was being stifled for so long. I mean, it was like they were literally, like right now, they're like pushing it down. I don't even understand why. I don't get it. I'm like, I mean, you got so many other big fish to fry. Clearly, you don't want to mess with me. I mean, I'm so little. I'm just a nobody. I'm really teeny and tiny. Go get the big guys, but they don't. They fumble around with little bitty people, and that's not nice. But my point is, no, they're not your fault. Some of them were gaffes, and then I found out ways that I don't have to deal with those gaffes anymore. So I'll create my own videos now and talk about those things and make sure that I cite my work inside the video, period. And if they don't like that, then of course they'll do what they want to do. And that's of course their choice to do whatever they choose to do. Can't stop them from that because they're going to do it anyway. Right. But I do know that I'm not going to just throw words out there and have them
Right. Not if you can help it.
Not if I can help it. You know what I'm saying? If I can help it. I mean, it was a.
But that thing that they're pushing for 2030. To be
2030.
Right. Yeah, maybe even 2030. That's terrible. In the land of free speech,
we've none. Well, because look here, you've got to make sure that you unite humanity with a living new language. And it can be stuff that you're used to saying. If you're used to having the freedom to speak, that is what they're doing right now. They're number 3 is what they're wiping out. They're wiping out your ability to have free speech. You will only say the words they approve of. I mean, they started it the very first of this year. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're gonna call a woman, can't use the word woman, can't use the word man, and then this right here is a woman. And if you call it something else, you're gonna be in trouble. You can't call it
the word police.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then listen, this is funny. R. Jones says since those tablets were installed on that site by I don't know if he did it, because remember they said they don't know who did it, but it was near him. It was, and a spell was cast on them. Then what would happen if a group of us or a few of us with some anointing oil went on a weekend trip to Georgia? I don't think it would do anything, because those things were created in that form, because that's what they live by. I don't think it would do much. But isn't there a place? Go ahead.
I would like to expound on that. But
okay, go ahead.
What were you about to say?
No, I was just going to say that it would be better for us to put our energy on working the word against those things, as opposed to physically doing that, because you got to be as wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. So in other words, don't let your right hand know what don't let your right hand know what
Left
the left
hand is
hand is
known.
doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, we can take these things right here and begin to, petition our Father in heaven and commission the angels to go out and break these things up. Now that, because it is a spiritual battle, I think we could do that. But I think if we did the other, that would be a good idea. But I don't know how well it will work because that's some heavy duty witchcraft. And if you ain't prayed up and you don't know how to hang with that kind of stuff, that stuff I've seen some folks come back out of dealing with witchcraft and they ain't been the same since. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? That's a good idea, but what do you think there, Ronnie?
I if you look at the scripture as precedents, which you should, um, something that we talked about last week as well, or the concept of it, it's washing the outside of the cup, and the inside is still dirty. It is a fruitless endeavor. It's actually pointless to come out there with some anointing oil, because you don't anoint the profane. You have to separate the profane from the set apart. You have to always separate the sacred from the from the profane, and you have to be able to identify it. And you can't anoint something that is profane, that is an abomination. If you look at the precedents in
Mm.
Scripture, every single time that they enter into a place to do something like that, as far as idols, they are commanded to utterly destroy the idols. Like
Aha, there
break
we go,
them
R.
down,
Jones. Now we could do that.
break them down, tear them down.
We could do
Like you
that.
can't anoint something that is, it's a pointless thing. It's, it, am I explaining that well?
Yeah, no, I think that's right. But you know what I mean, to her
We have to
point.
smash the idols. We have
I
to
think
tear down the idols.
yeah, I think to her point, that's exactly, to tweak her point, we could do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not we collectively. I mean, we as in, in general. That would be something that could be done. That would be biblical. But then you're gonna have to deal with private property and all that other stuff. So I don't know. I mean, it's in theory, it sounds like an off the chain idea. But in actuality and in nature, naturally, what could we do? I think to know these things and to get the word out, that, to go back to the book, just go back to the commandments, really seriously, because if you look at it, when they start to tear up the 10 commandments, that's when we started to have more issues. We were already having issues, but as soon as they started to take it out of the courthouse, soon as they started to take it out of the church, out of the school, yeah, and the church, soon as they started to do all of those things, is when we have this mindset began to replace the stuff that was there for a long time, which was the 10 commandments. These things, these 10, once the 10 commandments were out, you can see these things are fully acting in their place right now. These things are acting in the place of the 10 commandments of our Father. So that means that there is some power and that there is truth in those commandments, because if it weren't, they would not have fought so harshly against them. Go
But
ahead, Ronnie.
exactly, when you say that that means that there is some power. It's not that there is some power. If you look at the scripture, what it tells you is this the power, the prince of the powers of the air, and all of the things that the kingdom of darkness, or what have you, um, the strong delusion, things like that. It says that they are implemented actually with all power and lying wonders. So the thing is that it's not something that is powerless, and it's not something that just has, oh yeah, it has some power, so you need to beware. It actually has all power, but the power that is a lot. It's the lie. It's the
Mm-hmm.
lie. The power isn't a lie,
Mm.
but they are lie that it's all power. It is real power, but it's lying wonders. So they're using all of this power to give you this delusion and this, an illusion. It's a mirage. it's a mirage because it's lying wonders, but it is all power though. Whatever they're doing does have a lot of power, and you really can't combat this thing, definitely not all by yourself, and definitely haphazardly. You can't do it haphazardly. You have to go in, with the hosts, Yah of hosts, the whole entire army. And there is a time that is allotted, an appointed time, when it will all when his armies will come and battle, and we call it Armageddon or whatever you want to call it, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, or whatever it is. But when that time does come, that's when we'll show up and show out. And until then, the trick is not to fall for the delusion. It's not that the battle is in the mind. We can't fall for the delusion in the meantime. Because if we fall for the delusion, then we'll be on the wrong side. We'll be on the wrong team, because he says, look here, look there. There's the Christ. There is, over here is the Christ, and many will come in my name, and even the very elect could be deceived.
If it were possible.
If it were possible. So the illusion is immaculate. It's, it's 99.99999% the real deal. So we just have to be mindful that when they do utilize this thing with all power and with all authority, because they have the authority of the air. They are the authority of the air. So they have all power and all authority. We just have to know that it's the lie, because they're using lying wonders.
I want to ask you a question. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to ask you a question, because there's a lot of people talking about a lot of stuff. I know they were bringing the space force or whatever that is here to the Huntsville area in Alabama. And a lot of people, they're now arguing against it, saying, well, the last administration wanted to take it there, and that's how they ended up getting it there at the Redstone Arsenal. So we don't want it to leave Colorado, but if it does leave Colorado, we want to make sure that it goes someplace else if it's supposed to. So we're going to have an investigation looking into how it became Huntsville and how it became the Redstone Arsenal. And that was a conversation. Now, a part of this delusion that you speak of, that we've spoken of, tell us how the whole Vermana and all of the spaceships and all of the stuff that's alleged to be coming, how does that all play a role? And if you know of anything dealing with Wormwood or dealing with the different planets that are supposed to be hanging out, tell us what you know about that. How does all of that play into this delusion as far as the body of believers go? Am I being clear, or have I rambled? I think I rambled.
No, I think I got the gist of what you're asking. I mean, basically, how does all of this, it's sci-fi, it's science fiction, and how does it relate to the events that we see manifesting themselves today in the right now, and how does it relate also to the biblical prophecies or what have you? And I mean, the powers of the air, we're talking about spiritual forces, but these spiritual forces are actually coming to Earth. And when they come to Earth, they're going to be using, the scriptures call, you can see in Ezekiel that, a whirlwind or a chariot of fire or what have you, or even cherubim or ophanim, in scripture talks about they're basically the vehicles that Elohim uses to come down, like Ezekiel or Elijah was taken up in a whirlwind in a chariot of fire. That's I mean, what you want to call it? Modern day, you can call it a UFO, you can call it whatever you want to, but it was a vehicle. It was a heavenly vessel that came down and took up a human being. And it shows you that in the scriptures it shows you that Yah himself, the Most High himself, comes down and cherubim, like he's driving cherubim. So that's the old, ancient way of, saying, vehicles or whatever. And we have different terminology for it, but nonetheless, they are utilizing some type of vehicular object to some degree. The Bible says that these things are actually living, though. They're not like mechanical, but they're actually living vessels. Nonetheless, they are vessels, and we know that we're supposed to be living vessels for him, and that he resides and lives in us, things like that. So that concept is a sound concept biblically and spiritually, but we see it, in Enoch. We see and we see the different types of verbiage. Like I said, chariot of fire, a whirlwind, a pillar of fire, a pillar of cloud, however you want to describe it. But it is speaking on some type of, like I said, vehicular object. So in saying that, our minds in the present day go straight to, well, I guess what we could call UFO, something like that. So we see in the scriptures that there is precedence for some type of objects that carry passengers, so so that's a heavenly way of transportation. So when we see the other team, the dark side of the force, doing the same thing, we could get it misconstrued. We can think that, he's back. It says he's coming with the clouds. We have to know that it's speaking, when it said he's coming with the clouds, that it's speaking from the Greek, but it's getting its precedence from the Hebrew, where it says, that he's coming with the clouds, and it's a whole different understanding in the Hebrew. A whirlwind or what have you, but it is. I mean, in Ezekiel, it talks about that he saw what he see, a wheel and a wheel.
In the middle of the wheel, yeah.
A wheel with all these eyes and lights and eyes of fire. Those are lights. A wheel and what do you see? A gyroscope? I don't know what he saw. But it was some type of mechanism. And so I don't know whether it actually be real hardware that we see one day, or whether it be a hologram through through the various black projects that they have. I don't even know if I should say that word, the actual project, without creating a buzzword that they have to come looking for. But the various black projects that they have under the table, holograms that you can see things in the sky that look authentic. If however, or is it actual, real technological hardware that we're actually seeing? No matter what it is, we know that through the prophecies, the thing that happens first is the lie. So when we see it playing out,
would this current situation be considered the lie, or one, or part of those lies? Teresa says, I think those spirits were unleashed when the C, E, and then the N started, just in her opinion. She says, but do you think that's a part of it? The whole, well, this is going to do this to you, so come and take this. Is this part of the lie?
Miss Teresa be on it. She be on it. And of course, and it, of course, now I'm stating an opinion. This is an opinion. I think that's why they started the whole, CERN operation in the first place, so they can open up this bottomless pit. But you know, that's my opinion, and now I'm relegated to the world of conspiracy theory.
Well,
Things
now
like that.
Steve Willis has challenged you. He says, I have to call BS, Ronnie. You're going a little too far. That's what he
Okay,
says.
in what aspect?
Tell us about it, Steve. Come on, tell us about it. You know, I mean, and I'm glad we're having this type of conversation, because these are the things that, you know what I'm saying, we need to be able to come to the table and chat about it, because that's how we learn, and that's how we stretch and we grow. So yeah, you know, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that's happened, a lot of different things that are going on. And then when you look at what Teresa says, I mean, yeah, they didn't do all of those rituals and all that stuff for nothing. Teresa, excuse me. They didn't do all of that stuff for nothing. These folks really, truly, and honestly believe, you know, what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? They really do. They really do. So let's see what else we got here. Waiting on Mr. Steve is typing away. He's putting it in there. He's putting in that work. And you know, we gotta, I love it. I mean, that's what this is all about. This is about getting to the bottom of it, and all of us just throwing the ideas out there and coming up with what is according to the word, what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this, that when I look at, you know, the whole Georgia Guidestone piece, I'm going to bring this back over here because it's there. Let me get this back here, but I was trying to get this back onto the screen. Let's see, can I do 3? I think we had it like there you go. But when I look at this whole Georgia Guidestone piece, the whole part that talks about, where's the one I wanted to show? Leave room for nature, leave room for nature. That one's concerning. All of these are concerning. But there was one that lined right up. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Reminds me of the courts of heaven. You know, we're supposed to take all our petitions and everything in that direction. I can't avoid petty laws and useless price, which is the harmony and with the infinite. Okay, so number 9. When you brought up number 9, and then prize truth, meaning prize truth. That doesn't mean prize truth. It means prize it. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking her, hold beauty, hold. These are the things that they're telling you to keep in your mind as the forefront. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony in the with the infinite. So basically, whatever the infinite says is what they want you to follow. But that's how we know that's not our Father. That's not our Father. Truth, beauty, and love. Truth, beauty, and love. What truth?
Well, those are facets of, you know, how we're supposed to think, you know, to be kingdom minded. We're supposed to hold these things dear, you know, supposed to look at the beauty, and we're supposed to hold truth. We are supposed to be the truth holders. And of course, you know, we say that Yah is love. So the concepts are sound, but they're talking about, like I said, the other team. They're seeking harmony with the infinite, but that infinite is down with the other team.
Here, R. Jones says you can see lots of stuff in the sky on worldwide live cams. Much of it is reflected in lakes, etc. So they probably aren't holograms. That's a good point. Now, we already know what the word tells us, and you may know the scripture where it says, where the Father says, you know, there are bodies celestial and bodies terrestrial. And so we do understand that there are a lot of things that are out there. I think, to my point, what I was trying to say earlier was, I think that they're going to use our belief and understanding in looking up to control the masses. There's a movie I saw a long time ago, it was maybe like a year ago, and they were dealing with I think it's something Los Angeles. And what they were doing was they had like spaceships coming in and like going off on Los Angeles, and the people were running all over the place and hiding. And there were these things that were literally turning into, they were like spaceships, but they were things they were like a spaceship, but it was like a robot spaceship, Transformers type of thing. And it was amazing, the crap that they did in this movie. But I do believe that there has to be something that they're going to use. I mean, look at all the stuff that's been going on so far. They will put something up that's not real, and then put it on the news and try somebody for it, and you can see it's not real. And then they
Right.
keep going. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Well, I mean, so the technology that they have is, what they show us versus what they have, behind the curtain, if you will, the proverbial curtain, is, well more advanced than what they let on. How much more advanced? Nobody knows, but definitely to some degree, well more advanced than what they show us, on the traditional scale. So I could say, I could think that they do have some type of hardware, actual stuff that can fly in the sky and do all of these things. Is it alien technology? I mean, that's now we're going into a different realm, but definitely, yeah. Not everything would be a hologram. I think that they would actually, utilize all the senses to perpetuate and to have, to facilitate the strong delusion that they're trying to execute. So I can see that. I can definitely.
I mean, I think the real deal is with none of us are the father, so we don't know 110% what's what as far as that stuff's concerned. And not only that, we don't know these people, these things, brains. I mean, they can be coming up with all kinds of stuff. There you go, Steve. I put the link there for you, brother. So if you click it on your phone, it'll take you to your web browser and then you'll be there. Or if you're doing it from the computer, it'll take you automatically to your web browser and you'll be right here with us. So just click it and come on in. Steve Willis says, then let him talk. We're going to let him talk. Well, I'm glad that we have this type of dialogue, you guys, because there may be people that are watching either in the replay or even in the room. And, we need to be able to toss some stuff out there to get those questions answered. None of us here know everything. That's the one thing for sure. We do know that we don't know everything because we're not all knowing, but we do learn from each of you guys every day. R. Jones says that might be where the lost $1 trillion have gone. That might be where the lost trillions of dollars have gone. You are not joking. I tell you that right now. I've been trying to figure out where everything is as well. I mean, there's a lot of money that's been missing. And it's like, okay, so where is it? Don't none of us know. Where is it? Anybody got an idea? So we are coming up 1 hour, 52 minutes of the live stream. I hope that he comes on while you are still here so that you don't have to go back to work from your lunch break. But we've covered a couple of things. We looked back at the egghead video. We looked at the egghead video, which to me, I call it the egghead stormtrooper. We're waiting on Steve Willis to come in. We've got that. And then also we've got a couple of other things that we looked at. We have not necessarily looked at the 10 Commandments per se, but I do want to check them out because I know for a fact that one particular place in particular, one country, the Vatican, has been very hands-on, handsy in removing and adding and tampering with the 10 Commandments as if they can be tampered with. Well, here we go. You guys see that? And whomever made this, it's got the King. It's got the New King James, as if there was, I don't know. I don't like the New King James, but we're gonna go with it because it's still we're still able to see exactly what's what. All right, so here we go. I'm the Lord thy God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. That's number one. Number two, you shall not make for yourself, they say carved, we know graven image, or any likeness of anything that is heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water in the earth. You shall not bow down to them nor serve them. The specific purpose for that is all the different gods that they fashion to look like things in the air, things down below, and things in the water and all that stuff. And so that's why that obviously is there. For I, the Lord, your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children to the third and the fourth generations of those who hate me, by showing mercy to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments. So that is number 2. Let's go on to number 3. Number 3, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Number 4, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all of your work, but on the 7th day, that is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. Therefore, the Lord blessed the Sabbath and hallowed it. Good stuff. Let me make this a little bit bigger because I'm going to start to scroll down some. All righty. Number 5, honor. Now, this right here, you guys, is so sad because as Americans in this country, we have just not done this. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the earth, which the Lord is giving you. That's so sad. There's so many people right now that have absolutely no respect for their parents. Honor your mother and your father in the Lord, for it is right. They're not doing that anymore. Number 6 says, you shall not murder. Number 7, you shall not commit adultery. Number 8, you shall not steal. Number 9, you shall not bear false witnesses against your neighbor. Number 10, you shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor their male servant, nor their female servant, nor his oxen, his donkey, or anything else that's your neighbor's. Don't covet it. And obviously the reason why you're not going to covet it is because of everything that happens to you when you do it, right? Everything that you have, when you begin to want everything they've got, you got a hot mess on your hands because you'll do anything to get it, right? Pretty much. That's why he's saying don't covet it. Don't want it, because then you'll start to devise ways to get it. Teresa says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. You better say that, Teresa. Is that not what we're going through right now, Ronnie Man?
Oh, definitely. That's I want to say the 7th chapter of Daniel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is exactly what we're dealing with in the present. And we're seeing that manifest itself. We've seen aspects of that already manifest itself and has been implemented and is being perpetuated as we speak. Change times and laws. I mean, we can talk about that for the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes in and of itself. That is actually all the things that we've been discussing during the Sunday dinners when we're talking about all of these, why is it called January? Why is it called February? Why are we celebrating quote unquote Valentine's Day? Things like that. It's because they've changed times and laws. Of course, the blatant thing that comes to mind is the Sabbath, and we can talk about that all day long,
Yeah,
is it Saturday? Is it Sunday?
But you know what? It's ironic because that's the one thing that's been used to divide a lot of people. You know what I mean? Folks are coming up on 1 hour and 58 minutes. We're reaching up to the 2-hour mark. And so we are going to be leaving here in just about 2 minutes. Exactly. In about a minute and a half, we're going to be saying goodnight, only because we don't want the lives to go so long that if somebody is attempting to watch it later, they're not going to be able to. So that's the reason why over time you guys have seen us sort of break the lives up. where we'll go away and come back. This wasn't intended to do that. We were only going to be on about an hour tonight, but you know,
Right.
sometimes we just get to having a good time and we get to sharing stuff, and I love it. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys, as we are definitely coming up on 26 seconds before it's time for us to say adios. But thank you guys all so much for coming. Ronnie Man, I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank R. Jones, Steve Willis, Teresa, and then obviously I know that I know that I don't know how. Oh, you don't know how to use the link. It's okay, brother. We're gonna show you, and then I'll show you, because you and I talk. So I'll contact you and then I'll show you how to do it. But don't worry, don't worry. But again, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, and we want to make sure that everything works well, so that people don't have to take so much time to try to listen to this whole thing. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Remember that this Saturday we are going to come back, and we are going to have Saturday Night Live, which is awesome. And we're just going to have a good time in the Lord. All right. So we love each and every one of y'all. Ronnie Man, thank you so much, kind sir. I hope you have a super duper rest of your work evening. And hello to your beautiful wife. I want you guys to all remember what we always say on this channel, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the Most High God. God bless you guys. Y'all take care, and make sure to please take care of one another. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you